Hello everyone, it's Soligon, and this is part 2 of my, the ending to my time on FFBE, to Brave Frontier. I'm sorry, I'm just still feeling a little out of it right now, and also, do forgive me if there is any sort of stuttering throughout this video, because I am currently having another video upload at the same time. This one is off of my phone. So I'm going to try and go by a little bit quickly here. And from last time we left off, I was, more or less talking about out now what units are my favorites and like to give highlights to. Let's see. Draniel. He was a good Vortex Arena unit for one. And secondly, I did love his design and damage output. Dragons are some of my favorite things, especially for the fact that, there's not a lot of genderless units in the game, and genderless units really don't get a good buff. Sad to say. Avani. Back in the day, she was very powerful to me. Nowadays, though, she can be powerful. Except the one thing that makes her unique, that made her good to me in a way, was now that, it just doesn't feel as useful. She doesn't feel as useful to me anymore. She just doesn't. A lot of units just don't feel as useful to me because you can't really have fun with doing things like stats ailments and whatnot when you know that a lot of the buffs and damage multipliers are the same for most units. And it sucks to me. Just sucks. Now, anyhow, let's see, Fei and Fong, because it's not Fei and Fang, it's Fei and Fong, or Fong. It's weird, because they don't have those special cased letters in there to indicate you that it's supposed to be pronounced differently. Now you can switch their displays, thankfully, and it does look nice. It just looks nice having them. Now that unit I will talk about in a moment, but I really did enjoy Fei and Fong in the past. I thought they were good units, however, overly grindy. These two just took way too much to grind for because you had to repeat an event that had a low drop rate of an item, and you need 20 of them just to craft a single item to evolve them. That is redundant for a Valentine's Day unit right there. But one of my other favorite Earth units, Honoka and Hisa. I really do enjoy them, other than their adorable Christmas alternate art. They just provide so much, not in terms of defensive capabilities, but damage dealing capabilities as well. I really enjoyed that. Sad to say though, she does not have any OD gauge filling ability, because that's what you need nowadays just to get by anymore in this dang game. Even though she's not built to 100%, I did enjoy using her. Now we get on to Thunder units, and Ize. I called them Ez back in the day, but apparently it's just Ize. When you don't know the pronunciations of words because the games never say it, it just only has text. But Ize was one of my favorite and original Omni units that I used for a good time, because he was good at dealing damage, and I heavily enjoyed using him. Nowadays, though, the 6-tier units are really, really, really outdated Omni units, because they don't got any substantial buffs that really keep their usefulness up till this point today. They would probably easily die, unfortunately. And a lot of other... I do have one complaint to make. The sheer lack of Thunder Mitigators. Good ones, at that. The only good Thunder Mitigators for a while was a limited time unit called Urza, a Scarlet from the Fairy Tales collab. I found it insulting that she was the only good one for a time, and that Keparatamir was the only other one you could get, and she wasn't that good. Her UBB is not that good. It just wasn't that good, because all it does, it gives you additional damage reduction, and that's for DOT. She can't do 100% mitigation, which really did suck. I was lucky a little later that I got Sheriff, but again, it's at a time where it's like, it's too late. It was just too late. Lonely Apex Sheriff, he is a pretty darn tough unit. And no mistake in it. And I might as well unlock a node right here, because he helps with dealing critical damage, but again, not useful if the enemy's immune to critical damage. It seems like they just want to toss immunities onto bosses everywhere you go and make your units less useful. Isn't that fun? Anyways, aside from my rant, it's good that there is a substantial Thunder mitigator, and that's Mikhail nowadays, but again, he's coming at a point where I'm quitting the game, which is very much too late in my opinion. What other Thunder unit did I enjoy? Well, there is Fizz. She's not 100% my favorite. Omni Mikhail, I think I've already said a little bit about him. I do enjoy him. Oh yeah, Long. And yeah, another good Thunder unit. He's a good damage dealing potential unit. And I really do enjoy these alternate arts between him and Fong, because it's basically them, I think, wearing each other's clothing, or just as like using each other's weapons, and yet they have like a different effect to them. Now, if only alternate art made the unit model look different in itself to match it. You know, might change some stuff, and wow, my phone's really getting hot. Yeah, one moment. Sorry for the awkward pause, and also now sorry if the audio... Gosh dang it. Sorry for the awkward pause, and sorry for what you're hearing in the background now, because I need to have a fan on so my phone doesn't overheat on me, because right now it's heating up too much. And it's not even in that thick of a case anyways, which really does bite. Goes to show you that I need a new phone. Anyways, next new unit, Tate and Tom, or not new unit, but another unit I want to talk about, Tate and Tama. This pair of units, the pair of units right here, I really, okay, they're very good for, well, they have the shield effect, but they're also good for pretty much dealing a ton of damage, because as you can tell by that attack stat, she's very good at this. I think she's still good good in line with today's meta, as long as her usefulness doesn't drop off too fast, am I right? They're an old but goodie. Knight of Holy Light Arc. And shoot, I forgot her name. But she was pretty much good of an but these pair of units were good. Was a good Omni unit back in the day. Okay, Arc was still one of the best Omni units to have, and unfortunately, his usefulness dropped off after a while. When units steadily started to become more and more broken, he fell off the map. Although to a new player, this would be great, but new players, I really don't recommend them that they play this game, actually. Because even though if you would be able to start off with a lot of Omni units, catching up to where everything is at nowadays would be a pain in the butt. And that's for certain. But aside from that, let's talk about another one of my favorite units, Krantz. Oh, I love this guy. He was a great light type mitigator back in the day. And I wholeheartedly enjoyed using him for a time being. He could heal when you used his Brave Burst. He just had so much that I loved. And yet nowadays he's not that useful anymore, which I find that to be saddening. And Omni Plus cannot save him. Only an Omni Update could, but again, he's too old of a unit. He's not going to get his Omni Update, sadly. Now, who's next to talk about? Regil. Or Regil, but I like to call him Regil. Regil was a unique light Omni unit for having a great leader skill, but his buffs were not that substantial. As you can tell, his BB lacked a whole lot, only having 2 different buffs and that's it. Whereas his SBB, he has a lot more, and this, well, ult UBB had a little bit more. But aside from that, that's really all there is to him. A lot of his buffs were expensive back in the day, but nowadays you can't really use them because they're not that substantial as much as they should be for the current meta. Solos. Right here is another light 8 mitigator that I still use today. He's still pretty good and helps generate the ABC for the party, even though he's not as good as some and probably limited time light units, but what can you do? Am I right? Ah, yes. Lucius. Yes. The god that started our journey. If only you weren't if only you were not the villain of the first chapter after in the end. And though, sadly, he just had to be the one who hated humanity. But fortunately, even though you gave us the power of summoning, and you couldn't take it back from us. Kind of your own downfall, Lucius. Alright, next up though, who else do I like besides that? Ooh. Okay. I really do like the Season 2 Vortex Arena units because I love the little animal companions. And it does add a level of uniqueness to the unit because it's not just a unit with fancy armor or clothing or anything. No, instead, you have a person and their animal companion, which I really do like. I like this. And I even got Vanilla here. Gilded Seraph Vanilla. And she was a breaker, so that made her pretty useful. Except I got her after Light Vortex Arena Season 3 ended, so that sucks. But now we get it's my favorite part, the dark units. Velma, let's start off with. Pretty much a queen of dealing a lot of debuffs to the enemy, and even having counter-based abilities off of it. Sadly, though, her usefulness did not last, especially against enemies who are immune to the dang thing. And again, debuffs are by chance, which I really hate. Anyhow, Alzamasta. A unit with a variety of buffs, but nowadays can't really be substantial as much as they should be. Even though he was hard as heck to get, I really don't like how nowadays he's just not as powerful as he should be. Roguelizer, one of the final normal units to come out, because he was a Sphere Originator unit. That was his last batch that was named by that, the Sphere Originators, and he was known for, well, the Heaven's Edge, one of the most powerful spheres in the game these days. Except now spheres are kind of catching up to the level of that, which it kind of really makes the Heaven's Edge lose its, well, edge of what makes it unique. And that sucks. Next up, Ciarda. I really did like this unit, but it took me way too long to get him again. And I do like him, but normal attack nuking has become a thing of the past, unfortunately, which is sad for me to hear. Here. Now we move on to Naomi. Oh, she was an adorable bundle of joy. Oh, that's too good for this world. Not to mention, she is a very powerful one at that. She can deal quite a lot of damage given that she has the right amount of buffs, but thankfully though, her buffs did get updated, but Omnia Plus boosting her unfortunately feels useless because look, she doesn't have a lot to go with it, which really sucks. But it meant that you could build her up simple as that. Ah, yes. Next unit. Gaultier. Gaultier, an interesting story. It goes alongside Beatrix, because I like to deem this one thing as the Zeruria Curse. I get Beatrix in 5 summons. Gaultier never got him after 33 summons. I said this in the last video, where it took me 33... When I did 33 summons on Zeruria, I never got her. And then I got a big slap in the face during 4th anniversary to hear that Gaultier would be a unit that would be released for a unit of choice. Had I been a little bit smarter back then, I would have saved my tickets, but nope! Gumi really did screw the pooch on that one, in my opinion. Anyhow, Kylazar. He is still a useful unit nowadays, even though his leader skill may not be as useful. He is pretty much for the team and well, gift a lot to your party. Especially if you pair alongside with Ebony and Enid. Funny enough, she was my first Season 2 Vortex Arena unit, and the funny thing is that I believe I got her in, like, what, 1 summon on her main banner? Yeah, I didn't think I'd get her, and I got her anyways, which really surprised me. I really do like her gothic-like style. And I wholeheartedly enjoy her. Enjoyed using her for a little bit, for what little time I had with her. And then you have Fel Illusion and Illumina. These were from a unit art contest, which I'm glad to see that the unit got into the game, but it's a shame that they're not as strong as they could be. Because again, it feels like they're for beginners, which really does suck. But overall, I think, well, I can't tour all my items because that would take too long as well. So what should we tour? Or the other then? Well, I'd figured, well, for one, let's go to my player info. And, I doubt anybody's gonna find me after this. That was my old, Discord username, by the way. It's changed. It doesn't have the, but, Soul Fusion is still spaced. Now then, farewell, brave frontier. Let's look at my final records together, shall we? So, I've almost logged in for 1,000 days. And look at all the consecutive logins since then. Been keeping up with the logins, and I'm not gonna say the numbers of these other ones because they are way too much. Total units found 1,317. And I found the majority of units that I have found or summoned were dark units of 239. It goes to show you that I had more dark units were geared towards me, but thunder units were not. Number of items, 1,027. Total units required, gifts. Like, you get so much. 814 evolutions. Total harvest touches. I haven't really been doing the harvests since they've just been feeling useless. Because items feel useless. Especially when most of the stuff that you do nowadays just give you items to use for it. Most damage in one turn. I pretty much went past that cap. 652 sparks in a turn. Very much amazing to me. Right there. Quest record. Over 30 plus thousand quest challenges done. Wins, battle wins, and total mimics encountered. They count mimics? Okay. Max defense win streak. You don't really get that. I've entered the arena over 10,000 times, and yet I still have not reached the, what was it, the Thanos rank, or something. Anyhow, I have won a majority of the time, but it seems that I've lost, like, a little less than 2,000 times in the arena. Maybe it did pick up on the times I lost, but didn't make me lose my streak. Offense wins, defense wins. I've defeated a lot of units, and of course, you're not going to find a lot of 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star units, sure, but aside from that, you don't find a lot. You just don't. I mean, you just find more Omni units to defeat anyways. Timeout wins, nope, never got one. And a lot of flawless wins, but the game does expect you to do a little bit too much. Coliseum, I was never a fan of this because for one, it was 2 battles, and secondly, I would often get screwed over because I had that one tactic, but everybody else always countered it. It's like, oh sure, you don't give me the advantage most of the time. And most of the time, it feels like my angel idols don't want to activate, but for the enemy it does almost 100%, almost 90% of the time. I just felt like I was insulted there. Far too much. Now the classes, I've only really done hero classes, you can tell. Oh, and well, it's not hot. Conqueror class, not really. Gladiator, I was there once, but not for so long. The Summoner record. Yes, as you can see, it was a grindy adventure. A very, very, very grindy adventure. But overall, that's how it is. I think I'm going to take some personal time to just screenshot a few of my favorite artworks of units. Maybe of my favorite units. But then after that, wait a minute, the game's kind of hacky. But after that, the one thing I have to do before I uninstall the game is, for one, leave my guild here. Yes, I have to leave my own guild, but I'm still going to be in their Discord server. I'm going to try and be more active there than normal. I do see that, well, contributions haven't been as high, but then again, this game, I feel like, has dipped in quality. It really has dipped in quality, and to really let out all my feelings about the game, it's kind of in a shitty state. let's say that. It's just been in a shitty state. I am so sorry for cursing, but it's the honest truth. It really is to me, because of how difficult the game is, of how demanding it is for a large majority of its quests. A large majority of its content nowadays thrives on, well, redundantly hard challenges with a lot of units that you need. Not to mention that for a large majority of the Guild Rift events, well, for Guild Rift events, they've just felt insulting to me. And they got progressively harder, sure, but it came to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't even clear one floor. It just showed me that maybe this game's not for me anymore. Because gacha games like this, like, it was good for a time, but then after a lot has happened, it really is about my time that I quit this game. But again, like I said, I'm going to be quitting it in my own way. I was going to try and go out with style by spending everything I could, but it's too daunting of a task. And that's majorly because I'm busy with other things nowadays. And now, what am I going to do? Well, I still got FFBE on me. And FFBE is really the only other game I got on my phone to truly play. And that game I found so much more fun in. Although I did have an issue today where I encountered a login bug. For some reason, it booted me back onto the login screen and I was logged out of my account. The one thing I did do just in case was to uninstall the game, then reinstall it, and now it's back to normal. But overall, I am taking this video a little bit too long, aren't I? So, here are my final thoughts about Brave Frontier. This game, at time, was great. I enjoyed what it did. I enjoyed doing the content it gave me. I enjoyed gradually getting stronger, gaining new units to use. But as the challenges grew tougher and how time-consuming it all was, as nowadays for grinding and doing certain dungeons, this game just demanded too much time. And unfortunately, I just can't do it anymore. Hence the reason why I'm uninstalling this game and ending it all tonight. So, yeah. This is pretty much it for FFBE. I did it again. This is pretty much it for Brave Frontier here at this point for me. I do wonder when Gumi will decide to shut down Brave Frontier, because here's the thing, they can only keep this game alive for so long. I know fans love this game. I do know that. I get it. Fans love this game. They're gonna do everything they can to keep it alive because it's a good game to them. Maybe it's just me being, complaining too much, but I have my own life to live, and one that is fraught with work. And I realize that I have a lot on my plate to do before this week's end. I just have so much that I need to get done, and yet all I need now is the time to do it. So everyone, and with all this said, and this is it for Brave Frontier for me. Let me turn up the music a little bit. this is pretty much it for me. I'm pretty much ending my life on Brave Frontier. And that may have came out wrong. That may have came out so wrong. I meant to say I'm ending my time with Brave Frontier. And from now on, I can have all the time in the world to devote to FFBE. If you don't understand what that means, it's Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. But either way, I am grateful if you stuck around with me this long to talk. I really am. And, well, let's hope for a better future together, is all I ask. This has been Sulfusion. Goodbye, Brave Frontier. There, you will be missed, and I'll try my best to remember you. See you later, everybody.